It has been a while. We're back on the channel today after nearly 3 weeks away. We're finally back talking about Wrexham Football Club. Yeah, it's been a long 3 weeks. A lot has happened in those 3 weeks. Of course, you can probably tell by my voice and my nose, I'm still not 100%. I've been ill for the past week and a half. My phone has broken as well. Everything that possibly could have gone wrong has gone wrong in terms of content. So I can only apologise for that. And I know I've missed a lot of key topics. I've missed the Kop. I've missed just a lot of, sponsorships with Wrexham. Everything has happened. I've missed the match reviews and I cannot apologise enough. But today we're finally back. I've, had videos planned for the past 1 or 2 weeks, but just haven't been able to record them due to illness and of course breaking my phone stupidly when I was asleep. So better late than never. And by the time this video does come out, it will actually be my 19th birthday. So I cannot wrap my head around the fact that 1 year from today, I'll be turning 20 years old. That's just crazy. If you're new watching this video, make sure to subscribe, do all that good stuff, make sure to comment down below, and of course a massive thank you to all the people that have supported the channel further by clicking the first link in the description down below. There's a whole host of legends who will be on screen here who have supported the channel further ahead of a big year. So like I said, thank yous don't do it justice. And finally, let's get talking about Wrexham Football Club, and let's get talking about the big new Kop Stand plans revealed by the football club. So this has been released, I think it was 2 weeks ago now, and you've probably all read it, but I thought for my sake, and I love talking about the Kop Stand, I love talking about anything Wrexham, so I'm going to bring you this video. We're going to be talking the plans for the Kop and the whole stadium in general, which have been revealed. So it's an exciting video coming up, and let's get talking about the Kop Stand redevelopment. So the club have announced that they have appointed Populous as the new architect to create a master plan, quote unquote in Wrexham's words, for the Racecourse Ground in the upcoming years, with the initial focus being on the 5,500 seater capacity Kop Stand. Now Populous is the leading sport and entertainment venue design practice responsible for many of the best known stadiums and arenas around the world. So it looks as if we know what we're doing here. They've worked with Inter Milan, so they'll probably have links with Michael Williamson, and that's probably one of the main reasons as to why they've been appointed as the architects for Wrexham Football Club. If we're looking at some of Populous's works over the years, they've done work on the Etihad Stadium, Wembley, Emirates Stadium, Las Vegas Sphere, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, so expect Populous to do a double decent job when it comes to planning and redeveloping the Racecourse Ground. I do apologise as well if I feel like I'm breathing heavily on this video, please just try and ignore that. So if we're looking as well, Wrexham did release the plan for the new Kop Stand, of course. I don't have to talk about it anymore, I've talked about it loads on the channel. AFL architects were in charge of planning and building the Racecourse Ground design with a developer alongside them, but they were responsible for developing the design of the Kop Stand, everything that was going inside of it and possibly some of the outside. So we're going to have a complete rejig of that because AFL architects have been binned off, and of course we've got Populous in, but Wrexham have revealed the plan is to include a safe standing Kop Stand, which of course we all expected. The railings at the front, it's outside the Wrexham Lager stand, in that corner bit as you walk in to buy the club shop. So I think safe standing is much needed because we've seen the statement Wrexham put out about persistent standing in the tech end. So I think this is for the better that we had safe standing. It's going to include hospitality and will be a destination for fans and the local communities on both match days and non-match days. So the plan drawn up by Populous and the football club is very similar to the original plan that was drawn up in the summer of 2022. I don't think we were expecting many changes to have been tweaked or many new, major additions to be brought into the Kop Stand. I think we had our eyes set on what we wanted to do. It's just a case of, moving on from AFL architects and moving forward with Populous. So looking at hospitality now, the plan has always been to have 500 hospitality seats, which, in the original plan was drawn up at the top of the Kop Stand. And I do believe that will be the same case with Populous, with, them drawing up the new design of the Kop Stand. I think it will be at the top, with the seats obviously being directly accessible from the hospitality lounge, which I think they're also drawn up to be quite big as well. So 500 hospitality seats, it just shows, there is possibly, a feeling that Wrexham could be better in the hospitality game. Of course, we've seen you can go into the Ryan Reynolds box, as you want to call it. Some people go in there on match days. You've got the Bamford Suite. I don't know if it's called that anymore, but you feel like Wrexham could really massively upgrade this when the Kop Stand does come in. And I do think this will be a main area of focus because I think there could possibly be more revenue driven in due to hospitality. So it will be one of the main focus points in Wrexham, and the fact as well that it will be popular on match days will drive in that extra revenue, and of course people will be wanting to use it throughout the week, and it will be very popular on non-match days as well. So like I said, it's a new stream of income on match days and non-match days as well. Now we're going to be talking about the club shop. Now I didn't talk about it previously, Wrexham didn't state in their plan that a club shop was going to be redeveloped, but we all know that a club shop will be probably directly below the Kop Stand, or if not maybe on the side, but this will be reevaluated 100% due to the quick rise in demand for anything related to Wrexham, whether it be training shirts, match day shirts, goalkeeper shirts, Wrexham memorabilia, you name it, anything is so popular with Wrexham Football Club over the past couple of seasons that I think having a big and larger club shop is 100% needed. Now, like I said, it will increase people to shop in store if they are going to develop the club shop into a larger store rather than a shop than we currently do have. Of course, the one at the minute, if you've not been there already, I'll try and overlay a picture on screen. It is absolutely tiny. So if a new club store is going to be installed into the Kop Stand, then we don't have to worry about big queues, especially when new shirts are released. You won't have to feel like you're breathing down someone else's neck when you're trying to get a shirt. And more importantly, it won't feel like they're breathing down your neck. And talking on the design now, I think this is quite important to note about the design. The old plan, of course, was to build it in a certain way which would improve acoustics, of course generating more atmosphere, and on the actual design itself from the outside it was meant to pay tribute to the Gresford disaster and to represent the town's industrial heritage. You'll see it on screen now. It's like the design we had on last season's away shirt or third shirt I think it was, so I'd like to see that really being pushed forward by Populace, and I would like to see it remain part of the plans in terms of designing the Kop Stand. And it's second to none. Wrexham have been incredible when it comes to paying tribute to the Gresford disaster, whether it be on shirts, on match days, and even on the player shirts that they wear during the game. They're really proud to be representing that heritage, and I think it would be a really good feature if we could see that being brought forward yet again, 2 years on from the original design, and hopefully when we see the Kop Stand up in 2026, it will have a lovely tribute to the Gresford disaster. So yeah, it would be something I would love to see on the new design of the stand. So if we're talking on the overall plan now, once everything is good to go, it will take 11 months to build the new Kop Stand. And if I'm right in saying, I do believe work will commence at the end of this season. So with the Kop Stand being redeveloped at the end of this season in the summer of 2025, like I said, 11 months to install, it means we'll probably be going the majority of the season without a stand on that Kop area. Of course, with the Kop being redeveloped, there'll be only 3 sides of the stadium open, which is not a massive deal when you look at the grand scheme of things. In the future of Wrexham Football Club, we're sacrificing one season to have many years of a 4-sided ground, so it's not going to be a big issue at all. And I still believe the ambition for the Kop Stand is to build a 7,500 seater Kop. That was the plans originally drawn up a few weeks ago. Of course, I think it's not logical to go with the 5,500 so far. I think, in my opinion, I'm going to say it, I think it would have been more logical to go for the 7,500 seater, but it looks as if the plan will be to originally build that 5,500 seater stand, and it'll be a case of building it in a way that it can be developed over time, and I think it'll only be a matter of time before they redevelop it from 5,500 to 7,500. And looking at the statement that Wrexham did put out, Michael Williamson, Populace, everyone just seems so excited regarding this situation and the project of building the Kop Stand. So hopefully, like they said in their plan, let's hope they can produce a master plan when it comes to redeveloping the Kop. And if we're talking about stadium plans now, with Populace of course being in charge of any future renovations in the Racecourse Ground, that includes the Mould Road, the Wrexham Lager and the Tech End, it's raised the question, how big will the Racecourse Ground eventually be? And it seems like we might have the answer. Now, according to Wrexham.com, the plan over the next decade for Wrexham Football Club is to have a 36,000 to 38,000 seater stadium, with the work to be done in stages going from stand to stand. So 36,000 seater in 10 years time is a very big plan, and I think it'll definitely be an interesting situation to see what happens with all 3 stands. Of course, 2 are located extremely close to the university grounds, and the Mould Road I think just speaks for itself. It's 10 steps away from a main road, and of course, like I said, the Wrexham Lager backs onto sort of the university flats and the university grounds, and the Tech End again is probably about 20-30 steps away from the university ground. So it will definitely be interesting to see what the plan will be in terms of improving those stands. Will they go back? Some people have said, will they change the direction of the Racecourse Ground? Will they try and put it the other way instead of going that way? But we're building the Kop Stand, so I don't see the logical point in that. But having said that, all issues aside, I'm just glad and I'm so happy that we are not moving away from the Racecourse Ground, building a new soulless stadium, because Wrexham Association Football Club is nothing without the Racecourse Ground. It's the oldest international stadium in the world, and that is why we are so lucky to have owners like Rob and Ryan, who sort of just indulge themselves with the club's history, take so much pride in the club's history. And, you know, like I said, I'm really glad we are staying inside the Racecourse Ground. Of course, when it gets to 36,000, there will probably become a point where, you know, you're struggling to see the old Racecourse Ground that we used to sit in many years ago. But you've built it on the original land where many memories have been created. Some of the most historical moments in Welsh football have been created. Wrexham Arsenal, Wrexham in Europe. So, you know, we can call it home for the past 160 years, and let's hope we can call it home for the next 160 years as well. So long live the famous Racecourse Ground. So yeah, that is it for today's video. If you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like, make sure to get down there and click the red subscribe button if you haven't already, and let me know your overall thoughts on the Kop Stand. Do you think it should have been 7,500, or do you think 5,500 is just about right for the time being? Of course, it's just really exciting news, and I do apologise, it is about 2 weeks late, but let's hope I can just reignite that excitement that you had 2 weeks ago now and just get you even more excited. Yeah, we're living in special times at Wrexham Football Club. I know I've missed a couple of games as well. I've missed the Rotherham game. I was there, I got there for the second half. Absolute nightmare, missed the train, so you know, I think we got in Rotherham at about 25-4, so by the time we got round and actually were allowed into the stadium, we'd missed the first half. But yeah, nonetheless, that's a day I sort of want to forget. We've had Huddersfield at home 0-0, we've had Harrogate in the FA Cup, I'm sure I'm missing Charlton as well, so yeah, it's not been all too bad. We've picked up a couple of good points here and there, but the FA Cup is just a real sucker punch. But we move on now. We've got a massive game on Saturday at home to Mansfield Town. 3rd versus 4th, I think it is. But yeah, that is going to be a crunch match. It's an early kickoff as well, so make sure you're up for that one. Make sure you're watching Wrexham, because I am expecting a massive atmosphere. I'm expecting a big game from both teams. Both teams are going to turn up and make it a really enthralling game for the cameras. So enough of the waffle. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you probably tomorrow for another one, because like I said, I've got a backlog of videos planned and I need to get them out. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care everyone. Up the town.